welcome to America's Home Cooking. I bought this on sale right before Christmas because the store had leg of lamb and rib roast on sale, sirloin steaks, no, ribeye steaks on sale. So the most expensive cuts you could get on a really good sale. So I did pick up a choice beef rib prime rib roast, which is here. We're having it now. We decided to have steaks instead of this, but I had gotten 2 meals for us. All right. Let's see. This is how many ribs? 1, 2, 3. I think 4. Yeah, this will probably be for 2 meals. Now, originally, without the sale on it, this piece is actually $93. I don't have to worry about that because it was on sale. And I used my coupon. This is the only time I could have it. In Texas, when I was growing up, we could have this much. My mother could make this very easy. We would have steaks like that thick. Man, we ate good in Texas. And now, beef is so expensive. Up here, I found out it's horrible. I mean, it's just way out of everyone's price range. That's why they sell it overseas, because they can get a better price. 1, 2, 3. No, this is 3 ribs. Okay. I'm going to pack it dry before we start working on this. Oh, somebody came on and left. They went ding, ding. Okay, I can understand that. What we're going to have to do is we're going to have to cut these bones off because we're going to sear this. It's different from anything that I've ever done. My mother usually just put a blanket over this roast and that was it. So we are going to have to cut these ropes. So this isn't something we have very often, but I do like to enjoy it when I can get them. And that was only during Christmas, right before Christmas. They wouldn't give it to you any other way. Now they want us to cut this meat off as close as we can to the bones. Don't worry, we're going to rope it back up to roast it. Oh, you already did it for me. Oh, you cute little suckers. Okay, we've got to get the rest of these bones off. Okay. All right, put the bones to the side. We are going to use them, so we're not going to. Now you're going to score this fat. You do not want to score the beef, only the fat. And they'll be diamond shaped when we do it. So you don't have to go real deep on this, but you're going to score it. And we're doing it this way to give it a lovely diamond shape. It'll look nice. We usually call this the blanket. So if you hear the term blanket, you'll know exactly what they're talking about. But do not score the meat, just the fat. So be careful. Because if you score the meat, it'll dry out. That's not what we want to do. All right, and turn it and you go in the opposite direction. It'll give you a lovely, lovely design. I'm going slow because I'm not cutting my finger, which I'm very good at doing at times. You're going to need kosher salt. I'll get it out in a minute. I had to buy it. I was looking for a small container, but they only had it in the big boxes, so I bought a lot of it. Okay, now we're going to put salt on this. Get rid of this. Now they want kosher salt on this. They're very specific on the kind of salt that they want on this, so we're going to do it. Okay. Oh, easy pour spouts. Okay. We're going to rub this down. All right, let me see how much. Okay. Okay, they want 2 tablespoons of salt. And they want us to rub this completely down. Standing rib roast. Now they said you can put this into the refrigerator after you salt it for up to, how many days? Up to 4 days. Look, it took me over 2 days to get this thing even at this point. So we're going to rub this down. They want it to sit in the refrigerator for 24 hours, which I am not doing. It took me 2-3 days just to get it to this point. Okay. Set your oven to 200 degrees, they say. 200. Where do you want the rack on this? All right, we're going to get a frying pan and we're going to get it hot. I'll get you over here soon. We have to put the bones here, so we got to tie them back up. And we're done with this. Okay, let's get you over here. I know somebody came on and probably heard the price of this meat. Yeah, don't worry, I have a heart attack now every time. I remember my mother could just buy it for like $20. Chickens were like less than $1. Milk was what? When I came up here, it was 89 cents. No, 98 cents, my mistake, 98 cents. Does that tell you how high the prices are now? I'm almost paying $5 for milk, a gallon of milk. So prices are very, very high. Okay, we need this to get hot, then we're going to put oil in this. oil do you want in this? Now they say they want me to sear this meat. Now see, this is where this is where they've changed the terminology. Searing means without oil in a hot pan. But they're telling me to put 2 teaspoons in here and sear it. Now that's not searing, that's browning. But you can see they're changing the terminologies on everything. You need 2 teaspoons of oil in the frying pan. Because this is browning, this is not searing. Searing is a hot pot without oil in it. So when you put that meat in, it sears, it's going to seal up the cells or the meat on the outside, so all the juices stay on the inside, so it stays moist. That's why they tell you to sit there and hold off cutting your meat for like 20 minutes, sometimes 30, so it has time to settle. So when you cut it, it doesn't fall apart. We're going to sear this, so that's going to sit just like that for a bit. And while that's doing that, I'm going to wash this cutting board. I was going to have this for Christmas, but my son said, no, we want steak. So, okay. Don't fall. Okay, just searing this side. You'll see it as I turn it around. It's really nice. Then we'll have to get it into a broiled pan. Now this side, bottom side, where it was hooked up to the bone, we are not searing it. We're just going to sear the top and the left and the right side. Doesn't that look good? You can't say it doesn't look good. This looks delicious. Now the whole searing should take about 6 to 8 minutes, they say. I have never done a rib roast like this, so this is new for me. I'm going to have to hold it for the next one. Yeah, over this way. Let us sear that part. This part we're not searing because it's going back on the bone. If I'm holding this. Okay, it's going to go back like that. This is one meat you do not have to season other than salt and pepper. I mean, that is literally it. It is so well marbled and it's so tender. And you have to be careful that you don't overcook this, because if you overcook this, it's going to mess you up and it's going to be tough. And when you have a meat like this, like filet mignon, you have to always be very, very careful you don't overdo it. Now, I do not have 3 to 4 arms, so I am going to put you here. And I've got the pan here, you'll see me. You have to put it exactly how you had it before. Okay. Now we have to let this sit for about 10 minutes because it's really, really hot. And now I have smoking oil in my kitchen. And as you can see, it's getting a little smoky in here. But that's going to happen. We have to tie this back up. I seared. Don't worry, it's leaving. So this this has to sit a bit so I can handle this. That's the whole thing. We have the back door open, trying to get the smoke out. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna need extra knowing me. Okay. Okay, that's enough. It's not that bad in here anymore. It's getting chilly. Oh my goodness. Okay. Okay, see you then. So as you can see, this is a very easy roast to make. What hurts you is the pocket. I could say that willingly. I should know. I'm going to pick this up. You don't want to drop it. You just want to tie it up. One. Next year I might do a whole leg lamb, make a lamb roast for the holidays. I just don't want to have the regular stuff. Sometimes you want to be a little different, you know what I mean? Now see the next step and see what we have to do. Okay, they want us to put pepper all over this, so that's what I've got to do next. You know, I have so many peppercorns. Would you like the red ones? Would you like the green ones? The pink ones? Or the black or white? They don't say. So I know they're talking about the black peppercorns. And I go very heavy on this because I'm going to make a nice blanket of peppercorns on top of this. Did any of you ever see Spanky and our gang? I remember my neighbor had a washing machine like theirs, and they had a ringer on the side. I remember it. So when we saw them, and he was in the washing machine going up and down, going around in a circle, we tried to get into my mother's washing machine, and she had one with a lid on it. Oh, wait, she caught us in there. She said, "What in the name of God are you guys doing? Well, we want to do what Spanky and our gang did." Mama said, "No, get out." One time my brother got this really great idea to fluff Gino up. My younger brother, we were going to put him in the dryer and toss him around in the dryer. Children think of some of the stupidest things. But you know, in your head, it makes a lot of sense. I miss those programs like that. They are so funny. And when you think, we we were trying to, my mother was on top of us. She knew, like I said, children can get in trouble. Children today have no idea of the fun that we used to get into. Now they want you to sprinkle this with black pepper. And because I like black pepper on mine a lot, I went heavy on it, okay? But if you want a little black pepper, I guess you could put a little black pepper on it, you know. Now, that is it. Now, we're going to be cooking this until done. I'm going to give you the temperatures, so at least if nothing else, you can cook it to where you want it. But when you go to test it, test for the temperature, take it out of the oven and test the temperature. That way, if you leave it in there, you're going to get a wrong reading. So be careful of that. Okay, because I'm going to be putting mine in the oven. They say you want to roast the meat till it hits 110 degrees in the center. All right? Then they tell you turn the oven off, leave it in the oven until the meat registers 120 degrees for raw or 125 degrees for medium rare. Or 30 minutes to 1¼ hours longer. All right, so what you're actually going to be cooking this up to is about, I'm going to say medium rare because a lot of people don't like it rare. Well, you want to get that temperature up to 125 degrees. Now, the reason they tell you to test it at a lower temperature because they feel it's going to continue cooking. So they say turn the oven off and let it finish cooking. So if you cook it to medium rare, when you get done cooking, it'll be done. So it won't be that way. If you cook it at rare, it'll be medium rare when you get to it. So that's why they tell you to do it. And they also say let it sit, because if you cut it while it's hot, the juices are going to run out and then it dries the meat out if you have any leftovers. Which, there's no way my family and I are going to eat all of this. So remember that as well. Okay? I'm at 200. Let me put it in the oven. So that's why you put a foil over it, and then you could make the rest of the meal if you wish. $200? You think that thing's going to be done at 200? Well, I have 6-7 hours anyway. So that's how you do it. We just have to wait, cook it to your temperature, and do what you have to do. All right? So I don't believe they said 200. That is just like warm. This is not going to cook this. I'm a bit concerned about that temperature. I'm not going to lie to you. You sure you want me to do that? I don't like the idea of cooking it at 200, but they said 200 for about 4 hours. That'll take me to about 9, and then I'll check it. If it's not what I want, I'll have to do it. Wait a minute. Adjust the oven rack to about 8 inches from the broiler element and heat broiler. Remove foil, form into 3-inch balls and place under the ribs to elevate the fat cap. What fat cap? Okay, well, now they're telling us that after we're done cooking this, there'll be a part 2 to this. They want us to broil this and move and elevate. So it'll be well browned on top. But anyway, right now we're at the point they want us to get it to 110 to 125 for medium rare. So we're somewhere around that temperature. When we get there, we'll move to the rest. There'll be a part 2 live on this. I'm not going to be able to do it any other way. So listen, I'll see you later. Bye-bye.